I was originally going to save this video for my birthday on the 24th, but I need a video and this was the only one I had ready, so here we go.
I like him younger. As young as possible.
Earlier this week I made an announcement to my Discord. Yes, I have a Discord. Link in the description. That I was gonna make a video involving you guys. Yes, all of y'all. I wanted to make a 25k sub special for a long time now, to the point that we're almost at 40k subs at the time of writing this. Subscribe. The problem was that my noggin don't got any ideas on what to do for it. I was almost gonna make another Q&A, but like I just did a Q&A for my 10k sub special. That'd be kind of boring to just do the same thing but again. But then, one fateful day, my boy Azzy suggested adding a Hear Me Outs channel. I was like, that's stupid. Why would I add a Hear Me Outs channel to my server until ding! My brain lit up for once and I set up a temporary Hear Me Outs channel on the server. My goal is to know that if y'all know ball or should be put in a maximum security prison. Before we start, I just want to thank y'all for the awesome fan art. If you do make fan art in my server, ping me and I'll check it out. For this video, we're making a tier list, but the ranking of F to S tier is a bit vague, so we made the tiers more specific. We have the Smash tier and the Pass tier. In between those, we have the I Might See the Vision tier for those characters that I'm on the fence about. For the top tier, we have the Let's Get Freaky tier, when I see the vision when others don't. At the very bottom of the list, we have Smash. Boring. The only thing worse than an oddball pass is a boring Smash, because that kind of defeats the point of the video if every top tier character was a conventionally attractive man or woman. You know who you are. If any of y'all disagree, you can cry about it in the comments. So let's start off with the Steam logo. Bro, I don't know where to stick it in. Like, if I try to get in between the little gaps of the engine's arm, it's gonna get crushed, and I like to keep it nice and intact down there. Sorry, Gaben, but I'm gonna have to pass on the Steam logo. Not a great start. Next on the list is the Spirit Bear from B Game. I mean, I have a bear OC myself, so I could get the appeal, but I'm gonna need more convincing purely from the fact that it's from B Game. I already talked about that snooze fest of a game, but I have no interest in anything that comes from it. In good faith though, I'll put it in the I Might See the Vision tier. For the next contender, we have Mama Coco.
I beg your pardon?
You know, apart from the fact that she's like minutes away from dying and is riddled with dementia, I cannot, in good faith, put Mama Coco in the Smash tier. I've been playing a lot of Deadlock, and the hero Great Talon looks like a knockoff Coco. If I see Coco, I think of Talon and vice versa. I just don't think I can handle that. Pass. Cursed Spamton. We're off to a rough start, but let's see if we can salvage this. Mega Mawile! I think they're pretty, but not necessarily conventionally attractive. Like, don't get me wrong, their designs look cute and marketable, but if a normal person saw this thing in real life, they'd probably make a run for it. Still, Smash. Now Orisa, hey, now this is what I'm talking about. I'm just saying Blizzard would never make Orisa look anything like this if she were to release today. She's got that gentle giant character archetype while also having an unconventional body. She's got like a soothing deep voice, so if you know, you know. I'm pretty biased since Orisa was always my girl, second only to Mei, but man, Orisa is such an underrated Overwatch girl. She is an underrated robot girl in general, putting her in the freaky tier for sure. And Fanny, literal junk in that trunk right there. Holy crap. Smashed here. Why'd I say it like that? Smashed here. Wilhelmina from OKKO. Now, OKKO has its fair share of top tier baddies. A lot of these proportions are crazy for a kid's cartoon. Still, Wilhelmina is a conventionally attractive baddie unless you like hate black people for some reason. Even then, never ask a white supremacist the race of their wife. She's going in the boring tier. WhatsApp Freeman. I'm writing this as the Game Awards are airing and there's no Half-Life, so pass on WhatsApp Freeman. Default Blender Cube. This is a literal cube. There is nowhere to even stick it in. How do I even smash if I wanted to? This thing probably feels cold to the touch too. Oh, I don't feel very comfortable thinking about this. Pass. Metal Sonic. It was inevitable that we get a Sonic character on this list. I just wasn't expecting the first one to be Metal Sonic. Wasn't there like a character that had a crush on Metal? Metal definitely has some fans, but we're not asking the right questions here. Where do we stick it in? I sure hope it isn't the jet turbine in his chest. I'd rather not have my pegger get syndromed. Metal doesn't have a mouth, so we can't, you know. Otherwise, where does he stick it in me? Better not be those pointy fingers. I'd like my bum to remain intact. Why didn't I ask these questions with Orisa? Screw you, that's why. He starred us on my speedway till I bad future, putting him the pass tier. Here we have Looks to the Moon from Rain World. Now I haven't played Rain World, so I don't know much about this character still. I think they look cute. Not a 100% Smash from me. I don't know what past he was on about Smash tier. Next is Unikitty. Dog, listen, I'm gonna ask you to seek help. In what world does one become attracted to Unikitty? At least with like Wild Style, you get the painted on hourglass body to the torso. Speaking of which, I always thought it was weird how the girl minifigures had to get hourglass figures and breasts painted on them while the guys were just normal. Like, bro, I'm not trying to crank it to some Lego bricks. I don't get why y'all are trying to make them hot. Anyways, Unikitty has none of that. She's just an art-shaped brick and a rectangular cat head. There's literally nothing here that activates my neurons. Hard pass. Dry bones. Where's the meat? There's no meat, figuratively or literally. Hard pass. Lord Aviculus, that's conventionally attractive, bro. That's going in the boring tier. Queen Slime from Terraria. Now, I get the appeal of the slime and stuff. You know, there's infinite entrances. I'm worried that it's just gonna be all slip, no grip. However, I do see the vision. Up next is me. Why am I here? You know what? I'm gonna pass on myself. Get out of here! Okay, the next one is a pear. You know, this pear looks familiar. I know it's just a fruit, but I feel like I've seen this exact pear somewhere before. Oh well. Pass. Hopefully we get a banger with this one. Hear me out on Paragon X. Me? Out of all the people you could ship me with, you just had to pair me up with Paragon, bro. Gun on my head, and I have to name 5 good things Paragon has done. Just pull the trigger at that point. Pass! Now the Falling Devil from Chainsaw Man. Now all the devils except for like Control have some sort of creepy factor to them. Most of the time being monstrous faces with toothy maws. Falling Devil is probably one of the only ones that remotely resemble a normal person apart from the, you know, arms and detached head. I think I might give Falling Devil a chance. I might hurl if I have to see that in real life, but for this hypothetical, let's give it a go. Smash. What's next? Oh, Red from Angry Birds Transformers. I had to dust off this core memory because I haven't thought about this game in years. Listen, I couldn't care less about the hear me out, but just for that ball knowledge, I'm putting him in the I might see the vision tier. Donkey Kong 64 Tomato. This is certainly a thing. I don't think I want to stick it in there. Once again, I'd like to keep it intact. Pass. Next up on the chopping block is Chell from The Road to El Dorado. First of all, holy moly, boy! Second of all, due to my raging feelings for Chell and also the fact that she's literally just a conventionally attractive woman, so there's nothing for me to hear you out on, she's gonna have to go in the boring tier. I'm sorry, but rules are rules. Up next is Styx the Badger from Sonic the Hedgehog. Styx is honestly a slept-on character. Being tied to the Sonic Boom spin-off series just for the games to completely flop wasn't exactly doing any favors. It's a real shame that we'll never see Styx in a mainline Sonic game because of Sonic Boom's failure. Bro, I swear I was like the only kid that actually watched the show because it was on such a bad time slot. I think it was always the first show after Adult Swim, right after it ended in the morning, and it's just like the one episode for the whole week. Enough about my ramblings. Styx goes into the boring tier because she's conventionally attractive by furry standards. The only thing that can make a bad first impression on you is probably the way she smells. The next one is the Pythagorean theorem. That's like a concept. That thing is not a tangible object. That's a concept. How do I hear you out on this? What do I do in this situation? Look, I'm curious. I'll give you that. Just for that, I'm putting it in the I might see the vision tier if you ever bother to elaborate. The next one we have is the Soft Hearts Club from Spotify. Oh, what is that thing? Why is it looking at me like that? Why is it looking at me at all? Bella? Listen to me. Girl, I need you to take that thing and put it back where it came from. I am not hearing you out. Okay, I only have time for one more. Let's see. Is this valid? Wait, Marie? You know I gotta do it. Y'all know I gotta do it. That completes the Way Past Due 25k sub special Hear Me Out tier list. Like the video if you like it, dislike if you don't. Click the hype button because it gives me dopamine and I think I need to bleach my eyes after doing this. Some of these didn't make the list for a reason. This video was a mistake.